Good morning, my beautiful Patreon family. It's me, Golden. I am out here in a beautiful park. I found a little nook nestled away. Hopefully the sound quality is okay because it's kind of breezy and there's some cars that are passing, but ooh, a hummingbird. I tried to find a spot that hopefully will be good enough where you can hear me alright, so here's hoping the sound quality is good. I have attempted to make this video several times, and initially my idea was to get out into nature to speak about this topic, which today I'm speaking on rewilding. I already filmed this video, like a really long version of me talking about rewilding, and I wanted to redo it outside, and I wanted to attempt to be a little more concise because I notice I can get long-winded and just roll and roll and roll. So let me know actually in the comments below if you like when I go on the long flows, or if you like when I'm more brief, what works best for you. Let's see, so let me know. So yeah, here I am, I'm out here in nature. I want to speak a bit on rewilding and recalibrating ourselves with the elements, which is a huge part of what I call the art of awakening. And for me, the art of awakening is basically the art of life and being human on this planet and awakening to the truth of who we truly are as human beings. My sense is that as souls, we come to the earth with a willingness to have divine forgetfulness. So it's kind of like we have amnesia and we forget our oneness, we forget our omnipotent power and our eternal sublime radiance, and we come in having a human experience. And then what's unique about all of our souls is that we've also chosen to come and manifest at a time on the earth when, the dominant system, the patriarchal dominant system, is designed to have us in a perpetual, ongoing disconnect and dis-ease and out of understanding of our true essence and our strength and our ability to regenerate and self-heal, and our innate, intuitive, instinctual wisdom. So it's easier to control people who are disconnected and dumbed down. And it's easier to utilize humans as resources when we don't have a clear sense of our full capacity as humans this lifetime, right? And so I believe all of us that have gathered together here, that we are magnetized in together. We are on the awakening path where we sense that something is off. And it's kind of like it's this sense that's always running in the background. And those of us who are awakening consciously are bringing our awareness to this, that something is off, and we are awakening to the truth of who we truly are. And so we are awakening to this art of simply being human. And I am finding that rewilding and reconnecting with nature and recalibrating myself with the earth and with nature and the elements helps me in my awakening journey. So I am a person who has chosen sobriety since early 2013, and in my younger years really abused substances and alcohol, because I was just so out of touch with the truth of who I truly was, and from a childhood and adolescence of needing to morph who I truly was as a survival strategy, created a big rift of self-knowing. I didn't even know what the concept of self-love was until I was about early 30s. Oh, my tripod almost blew over in the wind. That tells me there might be a lot of wind feedback here, so sorry about that if that's the case. So, rewilding has become a really big part of my life. It's, nature, my connection to nature has been big my whole life, starting in childhood, but there's been a call to return to nature next level ever since my cancer journey began. I just felt a very strong inner directive, almost like a magnet of the earth drawing me into nature to have integrative healing there, because you all probably know the details of why I chose to utilize Western allopathic medicine. And if you don't, the very brief synopsis was I was told I would die if I didn't do their methods, because of the nature of my diagnosis and the type of cancer that occurred in my breast. I knew in my bones, first of all, my body was telling me not to do the allopathic route. I did it from a place of fear. But I also chose an integrative approach. I chose a lot of healing modalities along with the Western allopathic approach. And just by instinct, by animal instinct, I knew I needed to get out into nature. And at that time, the word rewild was kind of buzzing around in the collective consciousness. And I really like that word of rewilding. And so I'm a big proponent for it now, and I'm a big participant of it. And I coach people in rewilding. And so I kind of wanted to speak on the importance of rewilding. Now, we as humans have been domesticated, again, by the dominant system that seeks to utilize us as resources. Most of us on the planet are on survival mode. Most of us are not experiencing the thriving that is available to us. Excuse me, I have perpetually runny nose thanks to chemo. And most of us don't even maybe understand what the true sense of thriving could potentially even be, because we've never experienced it. Or we've been taught that thriving as humans on the planet in 2019 is amassing wealth and material items and having a really fat savings account and multiple cars in the garage of our large homes. And that's fine for people who find pleasure in that or find security in that or stability. But what I'm finding for me is that as I divest from the capitalistic programming, that thriving, I'm discovering, I'm stripping away artifice to discover what thriving actually is. And for me, I'm finding that simplicity and returning to nature and rediscovering my union with the earth and with nature and with our collective ecosystem and all the creatures that live on the earth, I'm finding that that is thriving. I'm finding that when I simplify my life and when I make space in my inner realm and my outer realm. Oh my gosh, there's a squirrel that's staring at me and shaking its tail. Hi, cutie. It was like it was waving hello with its tail. This is really fun to be in nature. And it's urban nature. It's a park right in the middle of our city. It's an oasis, a natural oasis of Mama Earth in her raw form. I find more access to joy and pleasure, authentic joy and pleasure and happiness just in being here and putting my root down onto raw nature. There's no concrete separating us. I'm breathing the air out here, the air that the plants have cleansed for me and are providing me. They are providing my inhale and I'm providing their exhale, and just in that alone I'm experiencing oneness. I'm being reminded of oneness. I'm getting fresh breath from these plants and I am providing it to them. We are working in symbiosis, interdependentness. I am receiving color therapy by being out here and looking at this gorgeous blue sky, all the shades of green around me, and then the brown of the changing seasons shown in the trees of fall, preparing for the leaves to be released onto the earth, to be composted and recycled for fertilized soil so that she can renew herself and bring more bounty in the coming seasons of spring and summer. I get to slow down and recalibrate my nervous system out here, which is huge for people who have PTSD or unresolved trauma. When we come into nature, even people, all humans, I think, we have different degrees of, truck, unresolved trauma just from being human, living in this world as it is. And the unresolved trauma of being in a world where we experience such disconnect collectively, and where we feel into the imbalance on the planet. And even if we're in a place of having, say someone's experiencing their own sense of thriving, if it's disconnected from the whole, if the whole isn't thriving, we will all feel the pains of that. And so there is this ongoing unresolved trauma that we are all experiencing. So when we come out here into nature, we feel into her rhythm and her essence, and we feel into the collective, and we realize that we want everyone to thrive. We want everything and everyone to thrive on this planet. When we experience the oneness out here, we remember we are connected to the whole. And I realize that when I do my inner healing, it's a fractal multiverse, and it's rippling out into the world around me. And so as I remember and I redefine what thriving is, that ripples out all around me, and I want to seek and find and embody ways, action steps where I can help the world around me to thrive. It's not just about me and my healing, me and my well-being, me and my thriving. I come out here and I remember that when my life gets better, your life gets better. And when your life gets better, mine gets better. And so I rewild by simplifying my life, getting into nature, eating organic plants, eating local foods, supporting local farmers. and local artisans. I divest from fast fashion and mass production as much as possible, and I minimize my carbon footprint on the world. I'm attempting to minimize my use of fossil fuels. I'm rethinking all the ways I was programmed to just exist as a normal citizen and human of the earth. Like, I'm really getting that I was taught a lie, a big complex lie about what it is to be human and how we're supposed to exist. So, you know, coming out into nature and moving my body freely is a rebellious act. It's a revolutionary act. Moving my body freely in front of other people watching me is super rebellious. You know, it's like I run the risk of people judging me. Oh well. Maybe they'll be inspired by my weirdness, right? By what they may perceive as weird. I rewild by feeling the sun on my skin. I rewild by finding all the ways, all the pathways back into nature, which helps me back into myself, which helps me back into my human self, my undomesticated self, my intuitive self, my knowing self. So when I'm confused about life, when I feel lost, when I feel disconnected, or when I perceive I'm disconnected, when I'm feeling sad or angry or overwhelmed, I get my ass back into nature. And I feel into the moment. Sometimes that means moving freely. Sometimes that means plopping myself down on the ground in exhaustion. Sometimes that means sitting upward in meditation, silent. Sometimes that means praying. Sometimes that means crying. Sometimes that means yelling. Sometimes that means venting and off-gassing to her. And she's a great place to come to process the spectrum of uncomfortable emotions because she can take it. She is a solid container. She can hold the space without judgment. She can receive me. I can show up here in any form, and she can take it. As long as I'm not hurting her, and I would never hurt her intentionally, although as I say that I realize some of my careless human ways do inflict pain, and I'm working to rectify that. But when I come here to process uncomfortable stuff, I know that she can take me as I am, and she fully accepts me. I am her child. I also am her partner. I'm her lover. I'm her daughter. I'm her servant. I'm her ally. I am her steward. I am one of her creatures. I am borrowing this earth body temple suit from her. She gave it to me. And she nourishes and sustains this body for me, for my soul, to have the earth journey human experience here. She only wants every single one of her children to thrive. She hugs us close, indiscriminately, with the gravitational pull. She only releases us when our soul says it's time to go. And then she swallows our body again whole, to be digested and composted for a new life to take form, a new costume to be made for another being to come have the earth journey. So I just wanted to make this video, and it feels like this is the one that was wanting to be made all those times. I hope that this could be inspiration for you to find all of the ways that you can rewild, reconnect. I'm going to continue to visit this topic here on Patreon because it's nuanced and there's so many layers to it. But I would love to invite you in this moment, find a way today to rewild yourself in whatever way that means. Maybe that means today you take a cold shower. Maybe it means you bathe by candlelight. Maybe it means you plug in your phone in another room before you fall asleep and darken the windows so you get deep, undisturbed sleep. Maybe it means you walk barefoot outside today. Maybe it means you take a deep breath if you're in a cubicle right now. Maybe it means you eat a fresh organic meal to nourish yourself. Maybe it means you drink clean water right now. Maybe it means you go through and find the ways that you can minimize your footprint on the earth in simple ways, and start there. Do it in ways that are realistic right now. So we work with what we've got in this moment and we scale in. And it's beautiful because once we initiate the journey, it's like we just follow the breadcrumb trail and we're shown the way. And if we're feeling lost and utterly confused, we can go find that patch of nature and just ask, please show me. Ask whoever and whatever you believe in. If you believe in God, if you believe in Goddess, if you believe in Source, Spirit, Great Spirit, Mother Earth, your highest self, your spirit guides, your ancestors, the elementals, the Fae, whatever it is that resonates with you. If you're feeling utterly lost on this planet, you can ask, show me. Show me. Please show me. And receive your answers. You will receive your answers. It might take time, but trust me, you will receive your answers. You will be shown the way, just as I am having this experience currently in my own life of asking to be shown the way. I'm asking to discover a path that has not yet been forged in my life. And so I'm scouting out that path. And then my job is to clear that path. And actually, it's not even a job. It's play. It's a blessing. So I ask those that came before me to assist me in remembering and rewilding and recalibrating into the truth of who I truly am, so I can embody who my soul came here to be on high. So I can be of maximum benefit to myself, to others, to the earth, to all. And I ask you to join me. Please, in the comments below, let me know how this lands with you, how it resonates. I would love to hear. Thank you for being here on this Patreon journey with me. I just want to say, you all literally helped me pay my rent and put a roof over my head and my teenage daughter's head. You helped me stay alive and sustain and get my basic needs met. Even if you're donating $3 a month, it is massive for me. So I just want to sincerely, from my heart, say thank you to you. And see, I could just talk forever. If you're sitting indoors and you can't get outside, receive this nature. And this is just one more thing I want to add before I end, is that if you can't access this nature, know that this is nature. This is home on planet Earth. This is comprised of all of Earth's elements. You are nature. You are the infinite, eternal, sublime source of all. inhabiting a gorgeous, unique work of art, masterpiece, work in progress, earth body temple. So let's close out by holding ourselves dearly, feeling our presence in our bodies on the earth, sensing into connection with all, receiving an inhale, surrendering the exhale. Every inhale is an affirmation of life, saying yes to life. Every exhale in deep trust, a surrender. Thank you. Peace be within you. Love you.